welcome back, Pokemon Go players, to another episode of the Purified podcast. Today is November 29th, 2021. I am your host, Luis Palacios, with my co-host, Chris.
Hey, it's your boy, Pokemon Trigger, please. How we doing?
How we doing, Chris? How you been?
I've been pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Funny enough, I had to not spin a stop today because I didn't get to get out of the house for Thanksgiving.
So you're trying
So
to reset
I had
it?
to sync back up. Yeah.
Okay.
My gosh.
Oh,
But
man,
it's been a good day.
That kind of sucks, though, like when you want to reset everything to the same day.
Yeah. I would just get angry, honestly, if it's unsynced for another week.
Yeah, no. So after today, you'll be able to sync it up then, right?
Yes. Yeah.
All right.
Should be good.
So that's good. Well, I'm glad that you're able to do things and still play the game as much as you want to. We're here once again to talk about Pokemon Go news, updates, and ranting about the game because we love the game just as much as you do. Not much that the creators of it, but still. Just for a lot of reasons. I'll let you guys know in a minute. I'm trying to catch this Cobalion, but let's remind everybody that we are part of the Professor Network. Please check us out, professornetwork.com/Purified Podcast. Wonderful people to work with every single time. Love working with them every single day. So make sure you check them out. And yeah. Yep. Anyhow. All right, Chris. Time to recap. We have a lot. Do we have a lot to talk about, Chris? I don't even know at this point.
We have a little chunk.
Yeah, enough for a full podcast because I don't even.
Sure.
Okay, all right. I like your enthusiasm. Is that how you say it? Okay. All right. Well, first let's go ahead and recap the last week of news. We are a little bit late on a day, just because we wanted to wait for an extra day since the season of Mischief is ending in 24 hours. As I recorded this podcast, so probably a little less than that. However, that means that we're going to be getting into a brand new season. You know, Christmas is coming, so we're definitely going to have some holiday season theme events and a lot of things. Yeah, we don't have any of the information yet, so we'll talk about what happened last week anyways. Shinies and Hondos. Chris, what do you got for me?
All right. Don't think I have much. Let me just double check. Yeah, no. I think, Shink's Calm Day was the day of last podcast, and I don't think I got anything new after that.
Ooh.
Sorry to say.
No shinies?
No.
No Hondos?
No.
Why? Oh, man, that sucks, brother. That does suck. Ah, thank you, Cobalion. You finally got in the ball. Anyways, well, look, we can have a couple of off days. It doesn't always have to be like, we're supposed to get a Hondo or Shando or anything,
True.
I mean, if we ever get a Shando, you'll definitely hear us probably scream through our social medias anyway, so. But yeah, that's not too bad. Any notable mentions, PvP-wise, or good ones there?
I think I got a pretty good PvP Shadow Mudkip. I just didn't run it through yet.
All right.
Other than that, no, not too much, honestly.
All right.
That was the thing that I was mostly excited about, though, was another PvP Mudkip.
Nice. Ultra League or Great League?
It looks like it would be Great League. I might run it through right now, actually.
All right. Well, while you do that, how about I talk about my shinies and Hondos?
Yes, sir.
All right. For shinies, well, I didn't really get a lot either right after Calm Day last Sunday, but I at least got a shiny, and that's because I played today's Spotlight Hour on noon. And if you guys don't know what we're talking about, we'll definitely talk and tell you what happened. Technically, the last few days of the season is Mischief with some special guessing. Anyways, so I was able to get a shiny Beldum from Spotlight Hour. So that was actually pretty nice. Especially because I haven't seen a shiny Sheldon or shiny Beldum Beldum, right? Yeah, Beldum. Since probably Arlo when he had the rotation on that. So it's not a bad haul. I did go plus a lot of shinies though from during Com Day or around Com Day.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, no, actually, I go plus 2 shinies before then, or after Com Day, because I know that was this the last one that I traded my friend with. I know I did a couple of trades, so they might not show up as much as anything. Actually, now that I think about it, I did get 2 more shinies. I go plus a shiny Peachy to complete the family, and I also go plus a shiny Wurmple, which I'm still looking for a few more, so hopefully I get all the lines there.
O plus going off.
I know. Especially for like the small shinies, so I'm actually okay with that. To be able to complete the family, if anything, so thank you so much, Go Plus.
Oh, yeah.
As for Hondos, I got quite a bit of them today. New ones and some repeat ones. At work, probably... Was it Saturday? No, I didn't work Saturday. Was it Friday? I don't even remember. Anyways, I go plus a Hondo Firo, literally sitting at my workplace. And I go plus it, and I was like, okay, all right. I mean, it's a Hondo, so I'll take it. I was also able to get a Purified Mudkip Hondo. So I'm okay with that because I needed a Mudkip for my Megas, and I'm going to be able to work on that eventually. I just, time will tell, and I definitely want to make sure that I can put up as Community Day move and everything, hopefully soon. But yeah, so Hondo Mudkip, pretty nice. I could have kept the Shadow, but again, I wanted the Hondo. I've been looking for that. It's kind of the only Hondo starter from that generation that I was missing anyway. So it was okay. It was nice. Thank you so much. During Community Day, during Spotlight Hour today, I also caught a Hondo Beldum. So now I got 2 Hondo Beldums, and well, one of them is a Metagross. But anyways, so that's quite nice. And then at the same time, when I was going back home, I hatched a Hondo Fennekin. So quite a bit of Hondos this week for me. Some of the repeat. The last 2 were repeats. The ones before that were not. So I'm actually kind of interested in why did I get the Hondo, especially the Pharaoh. I'm like, Hondo Pharaoh all of a sudden. I don't know. It wanted to be part of my team, at least,
It looks like it, yeah.
I know, right? Anyhow, oh wow, this actually, oh yeah, that actually goes through it. We'll talk about that in just a moment. Anyhow, let's go ahead and recap technically the last event of the Season of Mischief, which is the one that technically ended literally a couple minutes ago.
Oh.
Yes. So I'm sorry that this news, it's not out before then or after that. So unfortunately, sometimes we don't get what we want here. So anyways, so the season comes with an end with Mischief Unbound event. Unbound Hoopa has been released in Pokemon Go for the very first time. And how are we going to do that? So it happened from Friday, November 26th at 10 a.m. to Monday, November 29 at 8 p.m. local time, so just at the end of this podcast recording. The bonuses we had double transfer candy and 2 times catch experience, which was nice for anybody who's trying to grind to level 50. I didn't grind it as much as I want to, but hey, it is what it is. So the Season of Mischief concludes. Not really, because we still got a day to go. So we'll have our special research story to be able to complete after the season-long Misunderstood Mischief special research story that we had literally done the entire 3 months of the season. If you did not complete that by Wednesday, December 1st before 10 a.m., you are still able to buy the Misunderstood Mischief special research story, the Mischief's Unbound special research story on the shop for $4.99. We did go over this the last few times. You still have until December 1st before 10 a.m. before the season rotates to the new season. So if you're listening to the podcast now, it may actually be out by the time podcast services fees are actually up on Wednesday, which is when the season begins. So you got a couple hours after that, but if you're listening right here on the podcast live, then you are definitely in luck if you want to finish that over. Or you can pay $4.99 and just get it anyways. However, what's going to happen is we'll be able to change forms of Hoopa. Not got another Hoopa, just changing the forms of it. And that's, of course, because, the whole mechanic finally got into Pokemon Go. We'll definitely be able to change Hoopa's form to from Confined to Unbound, requiring 50 Hoopa Candy and 10,000 Stardust. And then if you want to go back from Hoopa Unbound to Hoopa Confined, you requires 10 Candy and 2,000 Stardust. But again, that balance will be different every time you change it. So if you want to go back to Unbound, you still need the 50 Candy and the 10,000, even after the first time. Chris, what do you think so far?
It's interesting. I mean, as much as I didn't like the Furfru requiring Stardust and everything, it does make sense for a Legendary to require Stardust to change form.
Mythical.
Yeah, that's why I said mythical. Yeah.
Well, I have my Hoopa here. I have not changed forms yet, but just for the sake of actually, showing you guys here the podcast services feed right here. Let's go ahead and change it to form. I wanted to wait until the podcast to do this, so let's go ahead and do it. 50 Candy, 10,000 Stardust down the drain. That is Hoopa Unbound in Pokemon Go. That looks actually pretty cool. I like it. Keymaster, thank you.
Yeah.
My Hoopa, of course, IVs are trash anyways. So there's no different reason for me to use it. It does go over the requirement for Great League, so I may change it back eventually if I want to. If you do power it up, unfortunately, you definitely can not revert it back to before the 1500 mark. So unfortunately, you can't really use it that way. Yeah, you can still change Hoopa to Hoopa Unbound. You do require the candy. I mean, you can also just use regular rare candy to do this. However, if you do the special research or you purchase the special research for the Unbound Mischief, you'll be able to get enough candies to be able to change form once. I can't even say evolve anymore because it's not an evolution anyways. But yeah, that is Hoopa Unbound. That is the other change of Hoopa. Chris, what are your thoughts?
I do agree with their choice of making it, be some Stardust to change it. It is kind of annoying that it's going to be, Stardust to change it and then Stardust to change it back. I almost feel like once you do it, you should be able to just switch it back and forth, for free.
Yeah.
But,
candy is
all right.
Unfortunately, candy is never too much when it comes to mythicals. We can't really get that many.
It's always the Stardust, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, like rare candies, those pile up. But Stardust, you got to get out there and grind. So
yeah, that's
I don't know. It's a little bit annoying.
It is. But if you do complete the special research to get the special research, that kind of sounds weird, but anyways, you are still able to buy the $4.99 special research. So you'll be able to have two to be able to get more candy for the evolution, for the change form of Hoopa. So right now I'm sitting at 111 candy. Of course, I already wasted 50. I was sitting at 161. Can you still get the special research? So it says right here that the special research will continue to be able to buy until Wednesday, December 1st before 10 a.m. But once you have it, you'll be able to complete it at any point and it will not go away from your stack of special research. So you'll be fine there. Well, with Hoopa Unbound, we did get some interesting raid times and definitely spotlight hours. And that's what we mentioned at the top of the show. So we had some raid hours that were actually coexistent after the event started. So from November 26th, we had the legendary birds Articuno, Zapdos, and Moltres. On the 27th, we had Heatran. On the 28th, we have the Regirocks, Ice and Steel. And then today, we had Cobalion raid hour, Cobalion, Terrakion, and Embracion raid hour, all from 6 to 7, just an hour each. So it's kind of interesting. Why do you think that they chose this Pokemon and why this anyways, Any thoughts, Chris?
For the raid hour?
Yeah.
Money. But anyway. I don't
Oh
know.
my
I
god.
think they're just trying to do something fun, honestly.
Yeah, definitely.
Um, like their whole thing with Hoopa bringing in all the different legendaries. Maybe they were trying to hit all that jazz. But I don't know. It's something fun to do. It seemed a little bit like rushed though, almost.
Yeah, it is a little
Um,
bit like that. I don't
it,
understand why they would do something like this. Like it with not enough preparation, where like if we had maybe this type of information, I want to say a week in advance, a lot of people will be
yeah,
able to actually understand that.
I was gonna say, yeah, give a little bit of warning, and then maybe people can plan out, actually rating out what they want.
Definitely.
Um, it definitely takes planning to take down these legendaries.
Well, the birds are not too hard. Good. Sorry about that. Drowsy's around. But yeah, the birds are not too hard. Just basically need rock types and rock moves. Heatran may give you a problem. The Regis are tanky, and then the Source of Justice are not too bad. So a lot of people were just doing a lot of racing between, but it wasn't like super amazing since we already had all these legendaries. All of them can be shiny, so you got your shiny. Congratulations, pretty cool and everything. Yeah, I'm still like kind of worried why they rushed this and why they gave us all of this at once. Like nobody really had a time to prepare when it comes down to it. However, we also had some spotlight hours. Now, this one's typically run from 6 to 7. However, they were doing lunch spotlight hours, so from 12 to 1. The following dates and the following Pokemons were November 26th, it was Rattata. The 27th was Sableye. The 28th was Pikachu. The 29th was Beldoms, hence why I got the Hondo and the Shiny Beldum during that time. Any thoughts on them? Why are these the Pokemon's featured this time around, Chris?
I mean, they were fun. I don't know, honestly. The only ones I can justify are Sableye and Beldum, because it's like the typing of Hoopa.
Yeah.
But other than that, I don't really know. Like, why Rattata? I don't understand. Very welcome to have these extra little events sprinkled in.
Right.
But I don't know. The timing was a little bit weird to me.
Again, it did feel like there was a rush moment
Yeah.
of information. We really didn't get this until probably a day or two prior to the actual event, and nobody was really prepared to anything. Now, they were trying. They did try. Rattata, there was no point of doing Spotlight Hour for that. I have no idea why. Sableye was pretty good. A lot of people were actually happy because they were able to get the extra large candies. I unfortunately was working at the time, so it was an unfortunate time of it. Pikachu again. I don't know why. And
I didn't even play it.
I wasn't. I think what was happening. Yeah, I was Sunday that time, so I was with a friend, but I wasn't really playing. I was just go plusing whatever out there. And then Beldum. I was able to play that, and I was happy to do it. I did gain over 100 extra large candies, so I was happy with the result in the other day. I have around 230 something extra large candies, so I'll take it. But yeah. So, and then of course we still had our regular raid boss when the raid bosses were not actually during the raid hours times. Cresselia was still until the end of the month and things like that. So it is what it is. We did have some avatar items that you are able to put on now because of Hoopa. If you did complete the special research, you did get these items anyways. So I'm going to show it to you guys right now. There it is. The Hoopa Unbound shirt. Looks pretty nice. It just feels like I'm a heartless because I have like a big hole on my belly on that one.
Yeah, play Operation with you.
I know, right? It's like anyways. But yeah, that was the Hoopa Unbound special research and event time. Really short event. I don't know why they kept it until this point. It was kind of lackluster after the full season of knowing to be able to catch Hoopa or do that special research or anything like that. I don't know. Did you really like the format that they did to give us something like this for a mythical Pokemon? give us something like this, like a grand finale, which technically wasn't. What do you think, Chris?
It was definitely better than how they handled, Jirachi and Celebi. In my opinion, I believe they did the same thing with both, where they made you wait a week. I don't like them putting a timer on it.
Right.
Just the fact that they say wait until a later time. I love that. Don't put a timer of 7 days on there. That sucks.
Yeah, and of course,
So I
they.
did like that.
I did like the only reason I liked it is because it was something that we had to do every single time an event came out. They tied it into the events, you did the research, you completed the research, and then waited for the next event to come around. That was fine, mostly because it tells a story and kind of lore. I don't think anybody really. I don't think anybody actually read the full story of the Hoop and Abound. If you go to any of the social medias or any like Poke Hub or something, you should be able to read it from there end. But anyways, it was kind of interesting when it comes down to it. Now, be it a season-long research, maybe not. 3 months of this. We got Hoopa literally on the second event of the season. Everybody was just starting to use it in Go Battle League, things like that. And then, the grand finale, it wasn't super grand to it. It's like a grand, spectacular event that will show Hoopa or Unbound Hoopa and then the finish of the research and everything. I don't know if this was it. I think they missed the mark when it came to being the last event of the month or at least the season,
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. It really grinds my gears that this was that was the grand reveal at the end of the day. We kind of already knew, especially because of Pokemoners and a lot of the Dynaminers out there, that something like this was gonna happen because we know the Hoopa has 2 forms. Can you predict or maybe speculate that something like this could happen in the next season? Maybe a Pokemon like Shaman that also has a form change.
I wouldn't be surprised, honestly. It seems like ever since Furfru, they're just trying to, figure out, is this a good way to do form changes? I think it's all right. They make it very accessible to everyone.
Yeah, yeah. And it kind of, again, it tells a story. And I definitely think that with this teaser that they actually put out, that we're definitely going to be telling a story through Pokemon Go in the end of the day. So, it's just an speculation part of things. But again, we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, so in the end of the day, yes, that is the form chains. The form chain should be stronger. If you have a good IV one, it should be stronger anyways. So you can use it in like raids or things like that if you have enough candy to power up fully, if you can,
Yeah, I was going to say, since the CP changes up higher, it should have a better stat product at least.
Correct.
For sure.
Correct. Yeah, definitely. So the CP definitely changed on that. Oof, so good. I still had you for that. Anyway, but yeah, so that is that. I really don't have any more thoughts about it. I don't know if it's good or not, but anyways. Any ratings on that? Okay, so let's do a rating for the final event, which is the Hoopa Unbound. And then let's do a rating for the entire season, since technically we're a day away from it. So let's go with the Hoopa Unbound. What is your rating on that?
I don't know. I'd give it like an 8, only because of the lore.
Right.
I thought the story was kind of fun for it.
Yes. Okay, so that was all right. I want to say maybe not an 8, but closer to a 7. The reason why is because it didn't really feel like it should have been the finale of this, or how they told the final story to this. If they would have been like in a special raid or an invitation, maybe the reintroduction of EX raids or something similar to that, maybe that would have actually been interesting. I don't know if it would have actually been good, especially with time period, but again, lackluster raids, lackluster spotlight hours, except for maybe 2. And then in itself, finishing the research was only time consuming in the end of the day. So I don't know. At this point, it's just a 7 for that reason. I wouldn't give it any higher than that. I could give it a lower rating, but again, I don't want to be that mean when it came down to it. But yeah, so after that, the Season of Mischief. So this one ran for the last 3 months. We saw a lot of events, a lot of spawns, and a lot of interesting things. So what is your rating through the season?
I really did like the jumble of spawns that we got, honestly. Not too many ones that I wanted to avoid. I don't know, I'd give it an 8.5 probably, just for the spawns alone.
Right.
I think the only lackluster thing, and I've been saying this almost every week, was the research.
Right.
There was one recently I saw. I don't know if this was I know it just came out like a little while ago. Catch 50 Pokemon for 2 rare candy. Yeah, no. Yeah, not me, Chief. But yeah, I don't know. The research, I think, is something that's always been kind of hit or miss. But I don't know. I just wasn't a big fan of it for this season for sure.
I can agree with you on the spawns. The spawns were alright. Some of the events were alright. Yeah, the research could have been a little bit better, but it is what it is when it came down to it. I think we still have one more spotlight hour before the end of the actual season, which is the Piplup spotlight hour. So yeah, we'll see how that one would go. Anyway, but yeah, no, not too bad. I'm gonna give it an 8. I don't want to give it any higher than that, just because one, I can't remember too many of the actual events. But
no Shundo, not a 10.
No Shundo, not a 10. There you go. Yeah, that's actually pretty good. But yeah, so it's just gonna be interesting. It was interesting. The legendaries could have been a little bit better throughout the season. We did get quite a bit of them. And the release of Diamond and Pearl didn't really help there, just because Cresselia was through the entire raid week. So, I don't know. Yeah, just an 8 is fine. No more higher, no more lower. And that's not because I'm saying it for being nice. I really do think that the season itself was good. Just needed a little bit more, if because of the lower. Anyhow, but yeah, so that is that. And then let's recap and rate the Ed Sheeran event, which actually is running until tomorrow as a recording of this podcast. Real quick, I am going to turn on my music in Pokemon Go so you guys can hear it. It's not going to be that loud, so I'm sorry if it is. So there is a little bit of music from Ed Sheeran actually happening, like a little remix for one of his songs. I can't remember the song it is. But you guys can listen more to it. I'm not going to run it for more than a couple of seconds anyways. And all the water spawns, thanks to Ed Sheeran, liking the water types and all the starters. Good or bad? What do you think, Chris?
It was weird. I didn't hate it though.
Yeah.
Some people seem like really annoyed at it. They were like, he's just we're just trying to get in a bunch of new players. Wow, it's almost like Niantic's trying to get new players. That is what they're trying to do. Good job.
That's the point.
I didn't hate it. It was something extra,
Yeah.
They even threw it in on top of the Mischief Unbound event,
Yeah, that was the weird part, to be able to actually put this like right at the end of this season, and now starting the next season. We're gonna see what we'll see in a minute.
Yeah. It was weird, but I did like it.
Yeah, again, it was just one of those things in the end of the day. It wasn't too bad. A lot of things that I'm actually going to mention is that if you are thinking of like listening to the album and everything, I think it's under the actual in-game. So you actually have to go into Pokemon Go, go to the news section, click on the event, and then go to the unlisted YouTube video. Only the people who click on the link are able to see it. So, and that video actually shows the entire album of music and a lot of different things, like his interview and everything. So, keep in mind, that will probably come out later in the future for everybody to see. But it's a good way, a good I guess, propaganda to actually put into the game to show that, it's not just a game, but it can actually be shared with everybody else. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I still don't know who the heck asked for this anyways. So.
Very, very strange. But I do like that they did something with the music.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
It's definitely one of the weak points of Pokemon Go for sure.
Well, if we talk to maybe, 10 people, 9 out of 10, they say they don't play with the music anyway, so.
Oh, no, 10 out of 10. What do you mean?
There is at least somebody who turns on the
plays with
game
the
and
music?
then all of a sudden they're like, da na 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 na. It's kind of.
Yeah, I guess the only people that play with the music are old people at the park, actually. Full volume.
I know, right? That would be hilarious. But yeah, so Ed Sheeran events. It wasn't too bad. A good response. Finish up the some of the starter hundos for me. So I'll give it an 8. How about you?
I'm not gonna lie, I'd probably give it a 7, maybe less.
Okay. All right. Not bad.
It was like it wasn't bad spawns. It was cool to see the return of the Squirtle with sunglasses, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it could have been a little bit better placed. It felt like it kind of shoved its way in, instead of being its own thing.
I guess they either forgot what they were doing or just like entirely, just say like, okay, let's run this because we can't release the other information yet or something. I'm like, okay, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, it was cool that they had so much going on.
Yeah.
But I wasn't a big fan of this part. I was more of a fan of the mischief.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, definitely. Would have been actually a bit better if we actually had like ghost type spawns throughout the event or something because
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, it's taken away from the spawn pool.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Anyhow, so that's our recaps for the last week. I don't know. There's just a lot to take in for that reason. But since we're here already, let's go ahead and talk about today's research topics. Now, the only reason why, again, we waited until today to actually release the podcast or even go live for the podcast is because we were waiting for the dump of news of December, plus the new season that were supposed to actually get announced. Now, it technically got announced, but it was just a teaser. Now, I do have their Twitter open right here for you guys. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna play the little clip that they gave us. I don't know why they just teased us instead of giving us the full information, but let me make sure the volume is not too high here for y'all.
Typical Niantic.
I know, right? So, it's showing a little mountain. If you are, of course, in podcast services suite, we have a little town or a tower, and then the season of Heritage in Pokemon Go has been teased. Now, Chris, you and I know what this means, right? Can you give our listeners a type of reasoning why we're like this?
So, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's very heavily hinting a Pokemon Arceus tie-in, right?
Yes. So, there is another main series game, and yes, it's a main series game releasing in January called Pokemon Legend Arceus. Now, this is a retail, well, not really a retail. This is a brand new game with.
Oh, it's a prequel.
Yeah, so but it's a brand new game, still created by the Pokemon Company and everything. It shows that it's a open world kind of game with crafting and wild Pokemons and a lot of different things told in the days of old, because this actually happens before even Generation 4 is even introduced or even technically established. So the Sinnoh region hasn't been established through this game. It's called the Hisuian region.
Yeah, it's probably the hardest one to say out of every single one.
Correct. So this is a story of all based on old types Pokemons, or I guess old time before Pokemons and a lot of the companies really were created. So it's kind of like in and out. It looks pretty cool. If you actually haven't seen it, I would recommend to go see it anyways. I could rant on about it, but of course this is not a Pokemon Center podcast. It's a Pokemon Go podcast. However, there is the possibility of a tie-in event with Pokemon Go, and this looks like to be it. It shows that we're going to see a lot of things from the Arceus game just because of how the drawing was and everything. It looks pretty cool. It could also be a tie-in for us in Pokemon Go players to actually be able to finally catch the mythical Pokemon Arceus or something similar to it, depending on what they want to do. Now, of course, this is just one event that may happen in January because that's when the game comes out, and that is a tiny event when it comes down to it. However, this teaser that they gave us was for the entire season-long event, so the entire winter time will be the season of Heritage. We have a lot of speculation to go through. I definitely would like to know a little bit more. Unfortunately, this teaser came out today, and nothing else. Literally nothing else. So Niantic is trolling me right now.
We already know tomorrow they're gonna have full news out.
God, and of course.
But then next week we're gonna have a lot of news.
Yeah, but you're not here though.
Next week he's gonna have a lot of news.
All right. We'll talk about that in a moment, anyways. But yeah, so the season of Heritage, there's definitely going to be a tie-in for the event, and because of what Go Battle League Season 10 announcement, we're going to go over in just a minute here, I feel like there's going to be a lot of Johto love in this season. Not much Generation 4.
It does seem like that, yeah.
But it does seem that Johto may seem that. Now, like I said, we don't have the full news, and I'm sorry that I don't have it, because, again, we're not Niantic sponsor here, unfortunately. But we will get you guys the full news by next week. I'll definitely see who am I going to talk to, or I'm going to be talking to myself about this. It's going to be weird. Anyways. But yeah, so that is a nice little tease. I wish they would give us anything. Now, there also is a possibility by the end of today's podcast, if I don't go off at 9 o'clock entirely by the time this podcast goes out, that the news may drop tonight. So we'll keep a lookout throughout the podcast today. We'll see how it goes. And if they do, cool. If not, we'll talk to you about it definitely next week for that. Anyways, let's get into the other piece of news. And Chris is excited about this because it's time to talk some Battle League.
Yay.
Season 10, Go Battle League. Here we go. Chris, I'm sorry that I don't have the actual link for you. I'm trying to get it.
Oh, no, it's no problem. I'm trying to look it up right now. Yeah, here we go.
All right. So, the Season 10 Go Battle League. What do we got, Chris?
Well, if you guys didn't know, it started today at 1 p.m. PST. This is a friendly reminder, if you're hearing this before you claimed your Stardust, to throw a star piece if you did, any, I would say almost any amount of battles in Go Battle League, and then you can get that extra little bit of Stardust for claiming it.
Yeah, no, that's very good. Again, by the time you guys are hearing this anyways, it's already out and about. I think you can still hold it until you click on the Go Battle League.
Yeah, I haven't done mine yet.
Yeah, so I think you can still hold it and put in a lucky piece a star piece before you actually get to that point. However, that is, of course, Season 9 rewards and everything like that. So this is our official announcement to say at Season 10's Go Battle League. So the rank resets just like always, and the season reward end of season rewards are here. So we already talked about all that. The rank requirements will be the same as Season 9. So at least, they're keeping that up. And Pokemon appearing Go Battle encounters will be slightly easier to catch. Chris, how many times have you actually got a legendary in Go Battle League and literally took you 20,000 tries to get it?
Dude, I think the funniest thing is it seemed like they raised the legendary chance. So people, I've seen people countless times on Twitch that are champions in Go Battle League. They'll get a legendary and they'll start crying basically basically. Um, yeah, but I can tell you, I've used like countless Ultra Balls, Great Balls, Pokeballs, Golden Razzes, trying to catch a Pokemon. And it seems like it just can't get caught. And it seems like they'd be able to know that it was in Go Battle League and not a raid. So obviously this thing can't run. So why not make it a little bit easier? So I'm glad that they finally did that.
We'll see when people start hitting legends or rank 20 to see those legendaries. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. All right. Well, what's the schedule for season 10? Here we go. So we got starting today until December 13th. We have the Great League and the Great League remix. So they're throwing in the remixes from here on out, and we'll let you guys know about the bannings of remix, of course. December 13th to December 27th, we'll have the Ultra League and the Ultra League remix and the Holiday Cup beginning on December 16th. So, jingle bells, your Pokemon smells. Please don't hit me with a Focus Plus. I don't know. So, we'll see how. Why did I do that? Anyways, December 27th to January 10th, we have the Master League Classic, and the Holiday Cup, which ends on December 31st, New Year's. 3 times Stardust from Win Rewards will, of course, be active throughout this time. Then, starting the new year with January 10th to January 24th, Great League and the Sinnoh Cup will be coming in.
We didn't have a Johto Cup, did we?
Listen, January 24th to February 7th, hold on. Ultra League and Ultra League Premier Classic. February 7th to February 21st, we'll have Master League Premier Classic and the Love Cup. So, love is in the air. And then, listen to this, Chris. February 21st to February 28th, we have all 3 leagues and the Johto Cup.
Dude, where's Hoenn Cup, though? Why is Johto Cup at the end?
I know, right? Like right at the end of the season too is like kind of crazy. So that's what I'm thinking.
With Sinnoh has to be happening around that time. Then.
Well, the Hisuian region is from the Sinnoh region.
Yeah,
and that's when the game really comes out.
Well, the other way around.
What do you mean? Oh, the
Sinnoh,
the Sinnoh region comes with the Hisuian region. So yeah, that's when Legend Arceus comes out. That's when they're gonna give us the Sinnoh Cup anyway. So that's the love that they're gonna give us when it comes down to it.
Interesting. I like that.
Yes. So interesting format. Holiday Cup again. We'll see how it goes. We have 3 new different leagues and cups anyway, so that's gonna be interesting. I'm sure people or players like PB Poke already have all the ratings out there, so be careful with that. So we also have our Battle Days announcement. So the number of sets you can play per day will, of course, increase from 20 to 100 battles. And then 4 times Stardust from Win Rewards. Excuse me. The dates will be Saturday, January 8th from 12 to 12. The Master League Classic will be active. Sunday, January 23rd from 12 to 12, of course. Great League and the Sinnoh Cup will be active, so that's kind of nice. And then Sunday, February 6th, we'll have Ultra League and the Ultra League Premier Classic during those times. So, Chris, any thoughts? You got to plan out?
On the different leagues?
On the Battle Days.
I'll do what I can,
I'm just glad they're on the weekend most of the time.
Yeah, that makes it a lot easier, honestly. And now it's actually the full day instead of it just being, a little tiny while. So I definitely like that.
Yeah. Season 10 rewards. So the encounters are going to be changing up a little bit. So on rank 1, you'll have Pyro. Looks like male Pyros, just to let you guys know. We have, for rank 6, we have Minfu. That doesn't change. At 2500, you'll get a Noibat. At 2750, you'll get a Dino. And of course, at legend rank 3000, you get your Pikachu Libre. The last 2 can be shiny at least, so good luck. Standard encounters. So this is what we're going to start seeing once we start ranking up. During the rank 1 and plus, you'll encounter things like Bayleaf, Kolaba, Crocknot, Spinarak, Chinchou, and Azumarill. I don't know why Spinarak is in that pool. I'm kind of liking the Johto out there anyways. Minfo will be 6, or rank 6, I'm sorry. Then we have rank 11 and plus. We have Noctowl, Fortress, Shieldon, Stunton, and Frelish, male Frelish to be exact. Rank 16 and plus, you'll get encounters like Larvitar, Scraggy, and Rufflet. At rank 20, you'll get the 5-star Ray Boss, which currently on whatever we have during the time. Noibat at 2500 and Dino at 2750. So, any thoughts on this poll or anything, Chris?
Yeah, pretty much all of these Pokemon are usable in PvP in some league. So I think they did a pretty good job. Definitely excited to try and go for some of these shinies.
Yeah.
And Skuntank's a fun one. As weird as it is, Skuntank is a fun one to get that extra large candy for.
Oh yeah. I always get poo-poo encounters anyway, so it doesn't matter. Anyways. Abaton items and other rewards. As we know, of course, the Pikachu Libre. I feel like they should change that already. Like, it's been a couple of seasons. But we will have trainers who will be able to earn avatar items and a pose inspired by the leader of Team Flare, Lysander? One of the two.
I said Lysander.
Lysander. Well, yeah, I don't know.
I never played the games.
And actually, you're correct. That's how they usually say it. But my Spanish breaks out whenever I can't read something. Of course, who first made his debut in Pokemon X and Y. So, Ace rank, you'll have the gloves. Better rank, you have the shoes. The Expert rank, you have the style pants. And then, during Legend, you get the jacket and the pose, which I kind of like that one before that. So, anyhow. And then, of course, your Elite Charge TM will be rewarded at rank 19, and the fast one will be rewarded at the end of the season rewards. So now let's talk about the cups. Chris, can you tell me the Great League Remixed banned Pokemon?
Oh, okay. So the Great League Remix bans the top 20 Pokemon used by the Ace rank and up in Great League. And those Pokemon are going to be Venusaur, Nidoqueen, Alolan Ninetales, Azumarill, Umbreon, Skarmory, Swampert, Vigoroth, Sableye, Medicham, Altaria, Defense Form Deoxys, Bastiodon, Scrafty, Jellicent, Galvantula, Galarian Stunfisk, Mandibuzz, thank goodness, Talonflame, and Obstagoon. So yeah, definitely Pokemon you see a lot once you're battling above Ace for sure.
Yeah.
I definitely don't have any problems with the ones they chose, but I'm very interested to see what the meta looks like for that.
Yeah, definitely. Now it's kind of interesting. It's kind of interesting that Nidoqueen rose to the top after his move changed in Season 9, and now it's getting banned in Season 10. It's just wild to see how a little bit of a move change can go a long way and literally destroys or changes the meta entirely. So,
it's funny, yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. So, aside from that, most of them has been notably seen through the actual Go Battle League. So we know that this banning are legit when it comes down to it, and it's running right now. So check it out and see how the meta revolves about the Great League Remix at this time around. Alright, so for the Ultra League Remix, we will have the 10 most used Pokemons. And these Pokemons are going to be Venusaur, Alolan Muk, Umbreon, Swampert, Empoleon, Togekiss, Ultra Form Giratina, Cresselia, Talonflame, and Obstagoon. A solid meta list right there for sure. So, not much to say about it just because we kind of know that that's what the Ultra League is anyway. So, Holiday Cup. We'll have Pokemon that must be at or below 1500 to enter. So, like Great League Holiday Cup. And then only normal, grass, electric, ice, flying, and ghost types will be permitted. Interesting. I'm pretty sure you're going to PV Poke right now, aren't you?
Oh, I took a look at the Great League remix. I didn't look at the Holiday Cup yet.
Holiday. Ooh, well, get your Pachirisus ready because that extra large Pachirisus is number 1.
Dude, it's such a chunky Pokemon.
I know, right?
Oh my gosh, Pachirisu and Altaria, perfect pair.
Oh, it's time. Anyways, but yeah, so that's interesting for the Holiday Cup. We have the Sinnoh Cup. Again, Great League enter only, and then we have Pokemons from the Dex entry of 387 to 493. So technically, all the Sinnohs. Interesting to say, but of course, we wouldn't see a lot of legendaries unless they're under 1500 anyway. So, and probably Cresselia, but if you get lucky, anyways. We have Love Cup. Again, 1500, red and pink Pokemon only. And there is a list of eligible red Pokemon and eligible pink Pokemon. I won't go over the list because I'm pretty sure it's a long one. So just do what you can and just go to the blog post. You'll see the list once we get to it. We have a couple of months before that happens anyway. So, and then the Johto Cup, Chris, 1500 once again. And only Pokemon's entry from 152 to 251.
Oh my.
Interesting. Get your Celebes ready.
I was gonna say, get your Umbreon ready, chunky boy.
Brown. Anyhow, we do have some attack changes this season. Chris, can you go over the attack changes here?
Yes, sir. We got Rock Tomb. It's going to be guaranteed to lower the opposing Pokemon's attack. And, Rock Tomb's a pretty low energy attack. We got a Chansey nerf, wouldn't you believe it? From 5 damage to 4 damage. I don't think that changes too much.
By the way, the move is Pound, if nobody has actually heard that, but
Yeah, it's not a huge difference, but it does add up. We got a Bug Buzz change. Bug Buzz will gain a slight increase in damage to boost Wormadim's, Vespiqun's, and Yanmega's bug-type charged attack options. It's going to go from 90 damage to 100 damage in both trainer battles, gyms, and raids. So, it's getting that extra little boost. Honestly, Bugs got nerfed a while ago. I don't even know why. They're so weak anyways. And we got some new attacks that can be learned by a few Pokemon. Donphan is able to get Body Slam. He's a very diverse Pokemon. He's got some crazy charge moves, Body Slam's going to be a fun one for him. We got Noctowl with Shadow Ball. I'm really excited about this one too, because Nightshade is what he had before.
Right.
We got Macargo with Incinerate and Rock Tomb. They showed some huge Macargo love right here.
Oof.
He's a very unique fire type because he usually can beat other fire types.
And it's not a flying type, so yeah, it might be a competition for Talonflame here.
Yeah, Talonflame's going to have a rough time now. We got Octillery with Lock On. Oh my gosh, this boy's going to be spamming. And he's got Octazooka and stuff like that, so beware. We got Sudowoodo with Rock Tomb. We got Lairon with Rock Tomb. And we got Aggron with Rock Tomb. So now they finally get some, faster charge moves for Lairon and Aggron. So I think he's going to be even more relevant in Ultra League. He was kind of a meme before. And then we got a Claydol with Rock Tomb. So that's an interesting one because, I don't know, I personally wasn't a big fan of Claydol before, but he might be more relevant now.
Right. Oh, it's a charged attack. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I keep my Aggron to what it is. So.
Yeah, it usually takes forever to get to his charge moves because, he just doesn't have the most energy gaining fast move. Usually people run him with Smackdown.
Right.
So just the fact you get that extra little charge move off more likely is definitely going to be very useful for people that use them.
Yeah, no, definitely. Well, it seems like a lot of changes are happening. Nacto getting Shadowball is insane. It just
Yeah,
helps out a lot. I know that in
so
the main series
chunky.
game, it does learn those kind of moves too. Donphan getting Body Slam is crazy just because of how spammy it can be at the end of the day. Mark
Oh,
Cargo
dude.
just looking clean right now to compete against Talonflame. Auxiliary learning lock on, it's interesting. I don't know how well that will go, especially since it's not a staff move. But it does charge the move pretty quickly because of it, so I don't know about that. Sudowoodo getting Rock Tomb is a good addition because Sudowoodo could be a good liability just being a Rock type anyways. Leiron and Aggron really don't feel like it may see a lot of change, just giving it a little more love for sure. Claydor running Rock Tomb, is it better than Earth Power at that point though?
Really, it really depends. I would almost run it with Confusion, Earth Power, and Rock Tomb, just so you could have a little bit more anti-air coverage. Um, but yeah, Confusion for sure, in my opinion. Some people are crazy and run Mud Slap. Those of you that do that, all the power to you. I'm just too terrified.
Oh lord, oh lord. But yeah, so it's interesting, and again, any little bit of changes to any Go Battle League moves really does, or even PvP in general, just makes sure that you always get something good and keep it. Like Chris, keeping 500, 5,000 out of 5,000 in that regard.
Any PvP Pokemon, they just need one move change.
To make it better or even better. So, yep. So that's the season 10. I don't know. It really depends if I'll get motivated to play or not. We'll check it out. How about you, Chris?
Yeah, I'll do what I can. I got close this season. I think I made it to like 2850. But then after a few bad sets, I didn't want to push too much anymore.
Right.
But I'll definitely try again this season. Hopefully, I'll get a better rhythm going.
Oh yeah.
I wish
Yeah.
you good luck too, though.
No, definitely. Just a little quick side note to the whole Go Battle League and everything. There's been a lot of content creators actually quitting just because of how Go Battle League has actually performed in the last season. Now, everything's still good. Like, the whole season and everything is good. However, there's just not enough for the content creators to say, is the push enough? Or is the push worth it? Now, we did actually talk that if you get Legends during Season 9's Go Battle League season, you are eligible to be going to the World Championship of Pokemon proper. So that's a thing. But I don't know if that was gave them more stress or less to work towards. Like I said, a lot of content creators are really, really either starting to get more busy or they're starting to not see it as fun as it used to be. So this is a letter to Niantic quickly from the Purified podcast here. Make sure you check out your Go Battle League players and make sure you check the community as much as possible because we want to keep going. We want to keep on grinding this game. Even some of us that don't play, but some of us really do. Please fix your game. Please fix Go Battle League as much as you can. Because we want to see the best that it can ever be in places like the Worlds and everything. Chris, any thoughts?
I almost feel like they're not, stepping away as much as they wanted to make it sound like.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they're trying to definitely push Niantic to do some actual action now.
Yeah.
Be accountable instead of just, we'll fix it.
Right.
When are you gonna fix it? We'll fix it.
God.
Okay. When? But I am excited for when they finally do like Worlds and stuff. But I don't know, that'll be the future.
There's still some excitement when it comes down to it. So we got a lot to look forward to. I'll definitely, even if I don't actually rank to go to, some of the regionals or something, I'll definitely be out to the ones that I can be, so that way I can support the type of players that do go hard and play Pokemon Go with the people who play it anyway. So It is what it is. Anyhow, that is season 10, and again, thank you so much for listening. We do have an APK mine rolling out as of right now, so I'm kind of glad that I extended this as much as possible. Now let's go to Pokeminers. there are some interesting additions to the APK. Excuse me. So, first and foremost, we do have an icon change. This actually seems reminiscent to Pokemon Legend Arceus and the season of Heritage. Interesting to say. We do have some unlocked frame rate. It looks like we'll be able to refresh the rate of I don't know, something when it comes to the game. I mean, I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyhow, we have a little image change to the egg. So the eggs technically have been the same. If you go to the game right now, you see the spots in the same place and everything. Looks like they're changing how the eggs look, which, is kind of interesting in that regard. So I don't know. Any thoughts on this, Chris? Maybe did they look better? Did they look worse?
I don't really care for the eggs, to be honest. So I don't know why they changed them again.
Well,
like, didn't they just change them?
I know, right? Well, that was like years ago, dude. We do have a new form added called TCG 2022 No Evolve. Ooh.
Interesting. I know a thing or two about TCGs.
Yeah, it could just be a placeholder, so you never know. But kind of interesting to say why they actually put TCG for 2022. So I don't know. We do have, looks like, a move that has been added, double kick. It's gonna be a fast move for that reason. So is the fighters getting some love again? You never know.
Hopefully.
Right?
Definitely a strong move.
Definitely. We do, of course, have the Season 10 updates. We already won't go over about those things. We have an asset update. A Dino Hat has been pushed into the game. It kind of looks weird because it's just Dino's head on it. Oh, my lord.
It better cover my eyes the same way it covers Dino's.
Right. It looks like there's also new leaderboards for the raids. So whenever you get your achievement through the raid battles that we've been seeing since the updates, and some changes to some of the images on there. So the height of the Pokemon is there, the use of bodies, and the raid distance, walking distance players. So I don't know. We'll see how that one will play out. Maybe just new achievements in the end of the day. And that's about it for now. We don't have that much else from the actual update because, again, this is just them mining out what's going on. It seems interesting enough. Of course. You're not talking about the new season. You're only talking about Ed Sheeran. Thank you, Pokemon Go, for not giving me the news I need.
You're welcome.
Oh, God. But yeah, so interesting to say what their plans are for these updates and everything. We're not seeing anything game breaking, but we'll definitely have more news when to cover next week, if that's the case. All right. With that being said, I do believe we have everything we wanted to cover on the news section. Kind of a bit of ranting on for sure, but it is what it is. Real quick, Chris, if you want to go to the PvP section, even though we already talked a lot of PvP, get right. Here we go. Well, Season 10 has started. Are you planning to do your sets today, Chris?
Yeah. As soon as we finish up the podcast, I'll probably be doing a few of my battles at least.
Right. Good. I may do maybe one set just to, start going at it.
Put your foot in the door.
Yeah, start at least somewhere out there. I do have to do a lot more things before I go to sleep tonight, so I don't know. We'll check it out. Well, that being said, we do have a new sealed meta for next month. I don't know. Did we cover that last week? I don't remember.
I think it dropped right after the podcast.
Yeah. So let me check real quick. Sealed Arena. We do have the Glacial Cup has been announced. So the allowed Pokemons are going to be Dragon, Ice, Psychic, Poison, and Water with a lot of bannings on this one. Megas are definitely banned. Altaria, Sumeru, Jellicent, Swampert, Deoxys, Wobbuffet, Cresselia, Medicham, Alolan Ninetales, Alolan Sandrew, Lantern, Gardevoir, and Toxicroak are banned all fully in this meta. So interesting meta. Any thoughts on that, Chris?
On
Glacial Cup.
on the Sylph meta?
Mm-hmm.
I haven't looked at it too much. I don't I haven't really done too much of the Sylph for a little while. I definitely would like to get back into it.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely.
But yeah, no, I personally haven't looked at the meta too much. It's not even on a PV Poke yet.
PB Poke is on a break right now, so he'll definitely have more to go about it when he comes back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, with that being said, we'll talk anything meta wise when it comes down to it. If we go back to Silt Arena, factions updates. Chris, what do you got for me?
Yeah. I didn't really know that too much was happening on the team side.
Mm-hmm.
Other than, me talking to the team about what I was going to change and stuff like that. But I found out one of the players was pretty much not messaging their opponents about getting the battles scheduled. I don't know if he was ignoring messages from them,
Right.
too, like the opponent. But obviously they didn't schedule the battles. They didn't do the battles. So that missed us out on 3 points each time that we could have got. So legit, the last one, the last bout that we just had, we lost it 9-11. If he had just talked to them, it was possible that we could have got a little bit of points and at least tied. So it is annoying, but we're looking into it.
Okay.
But funny enough, after a bit of a losing streak, they put us against the top ranked people in the faction group that were the standings.
Oh god.
Yeah, we're fighting Phoenix Rising.
Oh god.
And everyone in the group's like, upset time.
Yeah.
So we're hopeful. Definitely let you guys know how that goes. It's a bit terrifying. But I'm definitely looking forward to it.
Well, good luck with that. Sorry about this week's, but sometimes life can prevent.
It happens.
Yeah. I'm sure you and your teammates will talk it out, so that's not a problem. As for next week, good luck. But yeah, with that being said, anything else that we can cover today, Chris?
No, I think we covered everything pretty well. We're definitely gonna have a lot to look forward to next week, though.
Oh yeah. Well, before we do end the podcast here, I just want to note that Chris will be taking a break next week. I'm still planning on releasing a podcast episode next week. Just keep a lookout for my social medias for who we may actually come on the podcast. But we'll see how it goes. Anyhow, well, thank you so much for everybody for listening to the podcast. Thank you so much for being here on the live stream services. Anybody who has talked to us through the chat, thank you so much. You can always check us out on our podcast services feeds, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, places to be. Make sure you leave us a review if you can. Thank you very much in advance. Appreciate it anyways. Social media, myself at PureLighterGo. Chris at PKMN Trigger, please. All podcasts information and news that we talk about are usually on our feeds, on our Twitter accounts. You can always email us, the Purified Podcast at gmail.com. Make sure you get us some letters if you want to talk about things. And don't forget to check us out at the purifiedpodcast.com, the Professor Network. So with that being said, Chris, how about you take us away for the night?
All right. Thank you guys very much for listening in. Let us know if we missed anything. Let us know what you're excited for in the future of Pokemon Go.
Oh yeah.
There's definitely always a reason to keep playing, I feel like. But yeah, hope you guys have a fantastic time, and we'll hope to see you next week when Niantic has some news for us. Okay,
And
peace
Chris,
out, guys.
enjoy your vacation, Chris, and we'll see
Oh,
you
thank you.
guys next week. Keep purifying them. Have a good night.